And welcome to the entire Bitcoin fam on YouTube. In today's show, we're going to be discussing Bitcoin analysts eyeing a V-shape, Bitcoin price bounce as the RSI hits a 5-year low. I'm also going to be sharing with you a new Bitcoin bull cycle metric, which bottomed before 70% gains. We'll also be discussing mysterious Bitcoin wallet becomes the third largest Bitcoin hodler in under 3 months, now at over $3 billion. We'll also be discussing the trader who nailed the 2018 Bitcoin price floor, predicts the bear market bottom for crypto. I'll be breaking down his outlook. We'll also be discussing Guggenheim predicts a $400,000 Bitcoin price prediction, as well as Blockware. They shared that the Bitcoin price can reach $400,000 during the next halving epoch. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining in. Make sure to say hello in the live chat. Before we kick off today's show, just a quick reminder to smash that like button. And if you like receiving daily live streams just like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications. It's a free way to support the Crypto News Alerts fam. And of course, I greatly appreciate everyone's support. Welcome everyone just joining us. This is podcast episode number 1379. I'm your host JV, and today is August 22nd, 2023. And naturally, we have lots to cover. Unfortunately, the market is continuing on its downward spiral. We just broke that 26K resistance, as you can see here in our market watch. We got Bitcoin currently hovering just above $25,800. We have Ether barely holding on to $1,600. So the $1 million question becomes, how low will she go? And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the crypto market cap barely holding on to that $1 trillion milestone with about 28 billion in volume. But the past 24 hours, we have the Bitcoin dominance at 48.4% and the Ether dominance at 18.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, virtually nothing, maybe just a handful, just a sea of losses. Very unfortunate for the entire crypto market. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, of course, we're still in fear. Today rated a 78. Last week was a 53 neutral, and last month a 54 neutral as well. So there you have it. How many have been taking advantage of this recent dip? I mean, sub $26,000 Bitcoin seems like a bargain. If you're to ask me, let me know in that live chat. And now let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts and what is happening right now in the markets. Bitcoin stayed stubbornly anti-trend today, August 22nd, as 26,000 became a magnet for the intraday Bitcoin price action. And again, we're just currently dropping right below it. And regarding the RSI readings, here's what someone had to share. At this stage, it feels like a game of chicken to see who is going to make the move to break the chop, according to material indicators. Now, analyzing liquidity on the Binance order book, he also notes that a broad lack of liquidity increasing the potential for a sharp move in either direction. Quoting the analyst here, the market is waiting to see if more bid or more asked liquidity is going to be attracted to the range. So far, we're seeing small amounts of bid liquidity ladder up from 20,000 closer to the active trading zone, but no liquidity of any size, new or moved, has been stacked into the range, defending the price from the lower low. The implications were nonetheless potentially very serious for the bulls, with the lower low apt to risk even the 20,000 support going forward. Quoting the analyst again, needless to say, printing a lower low on this time frame has macro implications. Printing two lower lows would push the Bitcoin price to sub $20,000 levels. So a great question, how many of you are anticipating the Bitcoin price action dropping below 20,000? Let me know. Now, zooming out, hope remain that Bitcoin can rescue its overall uptrend, so it's not all doom and gloom. In a dedicated video, we had crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Pop share that on the 12-hour time frames, the RSI measured less than 19 at the time of writing, near its lowest level since the 2018 bear market bottom. Daily levels were similar, reaching their lowest since the March 2020 Novid cross-market crash. Quoting him here, every time we see such a move, you get a sort of V-shaped recovery back up, and it finds equilibrium on the higher floor. And he also added it was very likely that Bitcoin can stage a comeback to focus on 26.5 or more next. As he outlines here in this chart, he also shared that the current Bitcoin price action reminds me of September 2020 absorption and slowly grind higher here for a while. And I can see this play out similarly. So there you have it. What are your thoughts? Do you feel we're likely to continue downwards, potentially sub 20,000 or even touching as low as 20,000? Or do you feel we're likely to continue climbing back up as the analyst on the ladder shared? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss a new bull cycle amongst us right now, shall we? Check this out. The Bitcoin metric that nailed the pit of the 2022 bear market says his uptrend is still intact. Let's go. In a new post, the creator of on-chain analytics platform Look Into Bitcoin shared some good news in the form of Bitcoin's realized cap hodl waves metric. Let's go. While last week's 10% Bitcoin price dip has upended some of the on-chain landscape, the R hodl is one of the metrics taking the longer-term view of what remains a timely bull market. This metric takes existing hodl waves data, which groups the Bitcoin supply when each coin, or specifically the unspent transaction outputs, last moved, and weights it by the realized price. An example, the price at which it last moved. Quoting them here, peaks in younger age bands highlights the periods where they have a proportionally higher realized value, weighting relative to the older realized value age band, said Philip Swift. And he also shares, this is important to note as it indicates that the market is prepared to pay higher values for Bitcoin today and in recent times versus historical norms. This can be a good indicator that the market is becoming overheated. What are your thoughts? Now, currently the bands of coins that last moved 3 to 6 months ago are rising, a phenomenon coming to the start of the Bitcoin's previous bull markets. And on the topic of the August drawdown on Bitcoin, Swift thus concluded that the recent price dip is the context of a much bigger bull trend. Quoting him again here, 3 to 6 months band trending up as new money comes back into the market equals new bull cycle. Let's go. Now, our hodl has an impressive record when it comes to Bitcoin price phases. Back in December of last year, when Bitcoin was circling its 2-year lows of 15.6, which is the current market bottom, Swift used this metric to call the end of the euphoria among Bitcoin's speculative investor cohort, which he labels Taurus. He stated that time that the market is likely now at these cycle lows, which means maximum risk reward opportunity, which I discussed in great detail yesterday. I said there's way more reward than risk currently in the market. And beginning in January of this year, Bitcoin began a new uptrend that delivered 70% gains just in Q1. And since then, investor composition has changed, with the short-term hodler entities holding Bitcoin for 155 days or less, reducing their overall exposure to their lowest since November of 2021. And the latest dip nonetheless increased pressure on those remaining speculators, with almost 90% of the short-term hodler coins now held at an unrealized loss. But I also like to point out that also the smart money, which are the whales, are continuing to accumulate. So even though the short-term investors are, the paper hands selling their Bitcoin potentially to BlackRock or MicroStrategy, whatever big corporate interest out there, the smart money is continuing to hodl. And as you know, we like to follow the smart money. With that being shared, fam, now let's discuss this new wallet, which came out of nowhere and has now accrued over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in less than 3 months. Who do you think owns this wallet? Well, let's look into it and discuss it, shall we? A mysterious Bitcoin wallet has surged up the ranks to become the third largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world in just over 3 months, with the timing sparking some wild theories about its owner. According to data from crypto statistics platform BitInfo Charts, the wallet address first received Bitcoin on March 8th, and over the course of the next 3 months and 2 weeks, the wallet had accrued a staggering 118,000 BTC, worth over $1 billion at today's current prices. Now, the rapid and significant accrual of Bitcoin within a single wallet addresses has attracted its fair share of conjecture naturally on X. Some users suggest it's most likely a crypto exchange moving their funds, while some more radical members have posted a more wild theory suggesting that BlackRock is the prime suspect. As shared here, this unknown address has accumulated over $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 3 months. The prime suspect, my first major transaction, which was 3,400 Bitcoin, occurred on May 16, 2023, almost exactly 1 month later on June 15th, when BlackRock filed for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, very interesting, right? Now, the current largest Bitcoin wallets in the world, according to BitInfo Charts, are reportedly owned by Binance and Bitfinex and are Bitcoin cold storage wallets. The unknown Bitcoin wallet comes in third place and is then followed by another Binance cold wallet in fourth place. Now, BlackRock made waves in the crypto market, as we know, June 15th, filing an application for the spot Bitcoin ETF product that, if accepted by the SEC, will be the first of its kind in the United States and completely change the game. BlackRock's app application sparked a wave of filings for similar spot products from a horde of other Wall Street heavyweights, including Fidelity, Invesco, Wisdom Tree, and Valkyrie. The prospect of a spot Bitcoin ETF whipped crypto analysts into a frenzy, sharing their bullish predictions for the price of Bitcoin, with Fundstrat's head of research, Tom Lee, suggesting that Bitcoin can reach a price of $150,000 to $180,000 per coin following the halving event scheduled to be in April 2024, which is now officially less than 9 months out. What are your thoughts though, fam? Let me know in the comments, and at the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now let's discuss, before we get into very bullish price targets, including this $400,000 prediction, which is the main topic for the day. First, let's discuss, where is the Bitcoin price likely to bottom out, according to this top analyst. Let's discuss it. The trader who accurately called Bitcoin's 2018 bear market bottom is forecasting how the entire crypto market can carve a price floor for this cycle. Synonymous analyst Blunts, what a username, love it, shared on social media X that he closely is looking at the total market cap of crypto, which is the total chart. Blunt says he sees the total chart losing about 15% of its value before crypto assets can witness a significant bounce. Quoting him here, looking at total paints the clearest picture of them all, and far more than looking at either ETH or BTC on their own. Based off the total chart, I do believe the June lows still need to be swept before calling bottoms, but it will probably be the last good buying opportunity of the next few years. So seize the moment, fam. And as you can see in this total crypto market chart, you can see we're currently sitting at just barely above 1 trillion. He sees us dropping before rising to $1.4 trillion. So it appears that he expects the total market cap of all crypto to plummet to roughly 880 billion, wiping out 120 billion off the current market. The analyst is a popular practitioner of the Elliott wave theory, which we commonly cover here, an advanced technical analysis approach that attempts to predict the future price action by following crowd psychology that tends to manifest in waves. Blunt says that his prediction is based on a model that outlines an asset's potential correction after a steep rally, quoting him here, based off simple Elliott wave model, viewing the rise from the lows as an impulsive move and our corrective wave from the highs being around 70 to 80% complete. Now let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. Do you think the crypto market cap needs to shed another 120 billion before we rise back on up? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss Guggenheim's $400,000 price prediction. Scott Minerd, who is their CIO, he originally made this prediction, I believe, towards the end of 2021. Now, unfortunately, he has had a heart attack and he passed, so he's no longer with us. He literally died in December of last year, but nonetheless, he still made this prediction. So we're going to cover it, and then we're going to discover the outline metrics from Blockware and their 400,000 prediction for the height of this cycle for the next halving, reaching the epoch, which is also interesting because they're also suggesting a $400,000 price action per coin. Then we'll dive into our live Q&A. So here we go. This article was dated, as you can see here, January 18th, 2021. So this is roughly just over 2 years ago. And at that time, Bitcoin was trading just above $41,000. So here's the prediction coming from Scott Minerd from Guggenheim, a large asset manager. I think one thing that we are seeing is the sudden interest in retail. We are moving into a speculative frenzy, and perhaps it's time to take some money off the table. Now, the debate around Minerd's two opposite comments for Bitcoin sparked curiosity amongst the crypto community when he said time to take money off the table. And he also added on this tweet, it was before it became X, it was Twitter. So he shared, Bitcoin's parabolic rise is unsustainable in the near term, vulnerable to a setback. The target technical upside of 35,000 has been exceeded. Time to take some money off the table. And just at that time when he made that tweet, Bitcoin entered a strong correction. And over that time, Bitcoin tested support at 30,000 twice before resuming back northwards. And also talking about the positive side, back to the 400,000 price prediction, the Guggenheim CIO CIO said that Bitcoin is becoming a favorable asset class slowly. That's right, and still remains positive on the Bitcoin price action for the long term, quoting him here. The other side of that is demonstrating that crypto is becoming much more mainstream. The $400,000 price I talked about was based off the supply of gold in the world, and crypto in a lot of ways is more attractive than gold. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I absolutely agree that Bitcoin is way more attractive than gold, and comparing it to the yellow metal market, Minard said that Bitcoin comes with additional benefits like portability and ease of transactions, and note that Guggenheim Partners is already seeking $500 million worth of exposure to Bitcoin via the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is the GBTC product, the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world. They currently control over 400,000 BTC. So this will be a 10% exposure to Bitcoin from $5 billion, Guggenheim's Macro Opportunities Fund. The investment giant's proposed SEC filing shall become effective January 31st. And when asked Minard of if any of their funds have been allocated into Bitcoin, Minard hinted that they are still waiting for the SEC to approve their proposal. He added that if client demand picks up, they would possibly consider some allocations. And he also revealed that some small private Guggenheim funds have done some allocations, quoting him again, in some of our private funds, we have already purchased it. I recommended it to somebody. So if you believe what I said, that it'll go to $400,000 per coin eventually, then 2% of your portfolio will be 20% before this is all over. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Scott Minard. And again, rest in peace. The dude had a heart attack at the end of last year and is no longer with us. And with that being shared, now for our main story of the day, and that's the Blockware outline prediction of a $400,000 Bitcoin price along with the math to back it up. Now, this is pretty awesome. And again, shout out to everyone today in our live chat. I appreciate everyone's support. Shout out to Blockware Solutions as they shared on X how Bitcoin can reach $400,000 per coin during the next halving epoch. Brought to you by Blockware Intelligence. Here we go. 2024 halving analysis, understanding the market cycles and opportunities created by the halving. Unlike other commodities, Bitcoin has a predetermined algorithmic supply schedule which cannot be changed. There are multiple factors contributing to the cyclical nature of Bitcoin's price, including network adoption and the macroeconomic environment, but the most impactful is the mining subsidy halving. Yeah, that's right. Bitcoin's market cycles are unique due to its fully transparent blockchain, providing market participants with more granular information than any other asset class. And moreover, the predictable supply schedule further impacts the psychology of market participants. An example, demand. So number one, halvings reduce the sell pressure. Miners are the primary force of sell pressure on the price of Bitcoin. They receive all of the newly issued Bitcoin, and the majority of which they must sell in order to fund operating expenses for their mining operations. The weakest miners on the network are eliminated, and sell pressure is significantly reduced. The price of Bitcoin begins drifting up, and a new wave of adoption then begins. And assuming a 35,000 price action after the halving, the US dollar value of Bitcoin mined per year can drop from $11.5 billion to $5.7 billion. That is 164,250 Bitcoin less mined every year, more than MicroStrategy's entire Bitcoin treasury. Now, after the inefficient miners capitulate, the profit margin increases for surviving miners, which further reduces the sell pressure. So based on the post-capitulation hash rate estimate, this would result in a $2.3 billion reduction in annual sell pressure from the miners. Now, number two, halving brings new demand. With supply being diminished, demand is the only remaining variable determining the market price of BTC. Many market participants understand the supply side dynamics at play due to the halvings. Historically, this has led to a surge in demand in the months following each halving, as evidenced by on-chain data. We'll be checking out these charts in a little bit. And due to the positive sentiment, market participants prepare to deploy capital at the first sign of upward momentum. Now, decreased supply plus increased demand equals strong positive signal for the price appreciation. Number three, the halvings cannot be priced in. Despite their predictable nature, halvings cannot be fully priced in before they occur. A higher price today would result in more miners coming online, introducing additional sell pressure and limiting the price appreciation. And moreover, the weakest miners, those with old generation machines and or high operating costs, are the first to unplug post-halving. The elimination of these miners significantly reduces the sell pressure, as they were selling most of their Bitcoin to fund their operations. Lastly, there are some market participants that believe halvings are bad for the security of the Bitcoin network, as the diminishing block subsidy reduces the amount of miners, making Bitcoin more vulnerable to an attack. And when halvings successfully occur, these doubters are proved wrong and positive sentiment increases. Now, number 4, Bitcoin cycle volatility and historical performance. Bitcoin's extreme volatility is a side effect of its halving shocks and rapid global adoption, resulting in 4 distinct stages within each halving cycle. Stage 1, the halving. Stage 2, the bull market. Stage 3, the bear market. And then stage 4, recovery. And while Bitcoin is often criticized for its extreme volatility, on a long enough time horizon, its volatility is solely to the upside. Keep that in mind. Now, nobody who has ever bought Bitcoin and held it for more than 5 years is down on their purchase. That's worth repeating. Nobody who has ever bought Bitcoin and held it for more than 5 years is down on their purchase. So where my long-term hodlers at? Holla in the live chat. And for each epoch, the price of Bitcoin has increased by the following amounts from the halving to the next bull market top. From 2009 to 2011, we had a 584x increase in price action. From 2012 to 2015, 92x. From 2016 to 2019, 30x. And from 2020 to 2024, 7.7x. And now number 5, diminishing returns may not be the case going forward. Some question the bullishness of these halvings as the stock of existing Bitcoin grows relative to the amount of new Bitcoins being mined. This is a common perspective, but it may be incorrect. Less than 10% of the existing Bitcoin have moved in the last month. A large majority of Bitcoin is held by users unwilling to sell at today's price. Now, the small amount of Bitcoins that is moving and being traded is what determines today's price. There is a baseline of demand, and from Bitcoiners saving for the future, the reduction in sell pressure becomes more pronounced each halving after Bitcoin more than doubles in price. This indicates that halving-induced reductions in sell pressure could become more extreme and potentially lead to larger bull runs in the future. Now, 2024 will be the first halving where the supply of Bitcoin available for trade decreased since the previous halving. And during spring of 2020, the percentage of the outstanding Bitcoin available for trade was at an all-time high, indicating the Bitcoin was becoming more abundant. However, this trend had reversed over the last 3.5 years. And as the new bull market begins, there will be less Bitcoin available than the previous cycles, the first halving this has ever occurred. And assuming the price of $35,000 at the date of the halving, a $400,000 cycle top would break the trend of diminishing returns, which is a reasonable expectation due to the 2 billion halving supply shock and increasing scarcity of liquid BTC supply on the exchanges. Now, number 6, juxtaposition with gold. Gold is an asset similar to Bitcoin in that they are both non-sovereign stores of value. However, when juxtaposed, Bitcoin poses far more desirable attributes. Facts. Number 1, Bitcoin is absolutely scarce while gold is only relatively scarce. That's true because with gold, you can continue mining a new supply, adding to the overall, supply each and every year. With Bitcoin, there can never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. And number 2, Bitcoin is more portable, divisible, fungible, and is less vulnerable to rehypothecation by centralized custodians. Facts. So after the 2024 halving, the inflation rate of Bitcoin will fall under 1%, which is less than half that of gold. Now, $400,000 per Bitcoin would put the market cap of Bitcoin just beneath the parity with gold. Let's go. Can't wait for a 12 trillion market cap for the King Crypto personally. Now, given the bullish catalyst induced by the halving, we believe this is a fair estimate for the top of the coming Bitcoin cycle. Now let's take a look at some of these charts which they shared. This first one shows you the Bitcoin price issuance with the 90-day moving, 90-day change issuance. And you can see, the different metrics here in the different colors. And then let's go to their next chart. Here it shows you entities net growth with the 30-day moving average. You can see the surge in demand and just continuing to move on up like clockwork. And then in this final chart here, we can see the Bitcoin price all-time highs for each cycle, which is separated, which you can see here. Yeah, so I mean, if history doesn't repeat, oftentimes it shall rhyme. So I cannot wait. And I'd personally love to see a $400,000 price action. And this shows you the hash rate, which just continues to climb, reaching all-time highs, making the Bitcoin network more secure than it's ever been before. And they also shared an interesting update which I might as well read that as well. Right here, part 2. Let's read a touch of this and then we'll dive into our live Q&A. What machine and electricity rate will Bitcoin miners need to survive this 2024 halving? Check it out. There are 3 distinct phases in the time before, during, and after the 2024 Bitcoin halving. We got number 1, the pre-halving, number 2, the post-halving, and number 3, post-capitulation. Number 1, the pre-halving, before the 2024 halving. All miners will be operating at a profit, but are likely selling at least enough Bitcoin to cover their operation expenses. Miners with the most efficient machines and the lowest energy rates have the lowest Bitcoin break-even prices, and the miners with higher break-even prices are either unprofitable or forced to sell at a higher percentage of the Bitcoin that they mine in order to cover their operating expenses. And also, it includes Watts miner and Avalon equivalents, which size adjusted for the percentage of the total network hash rate. Now let's discuss the post-halving. After the 2024 halving, many miners will become unprofitable since miners have already made significant capital expenditures for mining Bitcoin infrastructure and are locked into energy contracts. They are unlikely to turn off immediately, so instead they will try to continue operating for as long as possible, hoping the Bitcoin increases enough to make them profitable again. Now, unless Bitcoin price appreciates quickly, the extreme margin compression will begin to force inefficient miners offline. And number 3, the post-capitulation. Following the capitulation of inefficient miners, difficulty will adjust down, lowering the break-even prices for surviving miners who will become even more profitable. So there you have it. I mean, shout out again to Blockware. Awesome analysis on their outline of the Bitcoin price going to $400,000 per coin at the epoch of the next halving, which again is right around the corner next year. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments right down below. Now let's dive into our live Q&A segment. Welcome to the entire crypto fam tuned in the live chat. We got over 250 people here live on YouTube, probably another 100 people or so live on Rumble. I appreciate everyone's support. Tennessee Eco Man was popping, Nathan Roth, Mr. Still Stacking, J-Dub the Laker, 21 mil. I'm going to start rattling your comments out loud here. Good to see you as well. Hodl Mike, 73. What's good, fam? CMG, JV for president. Let's frickin' go. Renee in the building. How you been? It's been a long time since I see you here in the live show. It says, all still in denial. The epic crash is weeks away. Well, I am curious, in your honest opinion, Renee, how low do you think the Bitcoin price is likely to crash to? Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to read that out loud. And everyone else, how low do you think we're likely to go? Do you think the current lows are in? I think the low for the cycle is already in at 15,700, which we hit in the last quarter of last year. I cannot see Bitcoin price going under that, but then again, anything is possible, so I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. What's up, Fernando? Good to see you. Sorry, fam, but these last days I was very busy to watch the live as I like. Well, I appreciate you tuning in live today. McLovin, good to see you. Says, how's the fam and everyone doing? I am doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking. Jack Jeong in the building. He had a great question. He asked, I have a quick question. To whom that can answer this? I have 2 Bitcoins on Robinhood and I transfer the whole, can I transfer the whole 2 Bitcoin to a Trezor wallet? What happens to my position? And as I addressed in the comments a little earlier on, if you have an open position, for example, a long or a short, then you would need to close the position. Once the position is closed, then the exchange, in this case Robinhood, shall allow you to move your Bitcoin to whatever wallet you choose. So if you moved it to Trezor, it would be that simple, and I would highly recommend that as well. And I'm glad that you brought that up. The safest way to protect your Bitcoin is to hold your own private keys, because not your keys, not your coins, which is a motto we commonly share here in the show. Great question. Does anyone have a magic 8-ball so we can predict the future of the Bitcoin price action? I think the closest thing we can get to that is some AI predictions. Yeah, I mean, Knoxville party time. You already know Fiesta in Puerto Rico. As soon as that price action hits $100,000, how many of you are going to be joining us for the Fiesta? Let me know in the comments, as I'd love to meet and see each and every one of you who are here today. Yeah, that would be fun. Chris Minka, what's up, fam? Good to see you as well. Kevin, good afternoon, fam. Good to see you back. I appreciate that. Let's freaking go. Smashed. I appreciate that. And a quick reminder, if you appreciate the content on the live show, the greatest compliment you can do, and it's free to do so, simply smash the like button. It helps out tremendously. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. And hit the bell icon and make sure to turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every single day when I go live. Also like to throw out there, we have a brand new Discord server for the Crypto News Alerts fam. It has launched and it is live, and it's it's now interactive for each and every one of you. The link for the Discord is discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. You also always find it in the show notes below the video in the description. I list all the social media, ways to connect, and I highly encourage each and every one of you to connect and follow me on all of those resources, from X to Rumble to YouTube. I also recently launched a Clips YouTube channel, which is now the secondary channel specific for clips, which are going to be segments taken from this live show. Please do join, subscribe, and follow us just in case something was ever to happen to the main account. What's up, Andy Surfer? Good to see you, fam. Terry Tibbs in the building from the UK. What's up? Welcome. Bitcoin to 20,000 predicts a gaming account here. Word up. How many of you would seize the moment and buy that dip if Bitcoin did hypothetically drop that low? Bitcoin 25.8 support is about to collapse. It does seem to be this way. Unfortunately, 26 did not hold, so 25 is the next psychological level. If that is to break, we could head towards that $20,000 price action, looking towards 17,850 for the base. Interesting, Kevin. Appreciate you sharing. Welcome, Bitcoin Maximus. Good to see you live, fam. Cheap Sat says Denver Hodl. You already know, fam. Seize the moment. Bud, what's good? Let's roll, my brother. You already know. Bitcoin going to 20,000. The 25.8 support is being shattered. Points out gaming. Word. J Dub says, what's up? Welcome, J Dub. BTFD 100%. Response audio. Every Bitcoin bear market, test your conviction like clockwork, like deja vu, right? Eric says, what's up, big dog? Have you ever had someone listen to you while on a run? Well, now I have. If you're listening to me right now while on a run, much love and much respect. I don't know how you do it. When I'm running, I can't have a phone on me. And interesting enough, Tuesday, my run day, so I will run 5 miles a little later. Earlier, I did my leg workout and it did a nice stretch. I do my splits and all that stuff. And then in the evening, when it gets cooler, because it's freaking hot here in Puerto Rico, I do my 5-mile run. So appreciate the support, fam. 6 different buys today. Holy moly. Keep getting it, Chris Minko. Much love, much respect. Keep stacking them sats, fam. Welcome to all the OGs in the building. A lot of familiar faces. Sideways until September, I think. Well, the good news is September is like another week out, so right around the corner. Bring it. Not such as definitely when it comes to Bitcoin. Exactly. No one really knows what's going to happen next. It's all speculation, to say the least. 100%. Kyle, yes, Bitcoin definitely will do a roller coaster movement up and to the right for long term. 100%. As I mentioned earlier, every single long-term Bitcoin hodler holding their Bitcoin for 5 years or longer are in the green. That's right. So it's the short-term hodlers which tend to get wrecked the most. So don't be one of them, especially if you're in this for the long haul. Let me know. Definitely coin father, long-term Bitcoin will only go up. Mentions Kyle, 100%. Wouldn't surprise me if it was BlackRock's wallet. Wouldn't surprise me either. And I'm actually curious, whose wallet do you think that likely is? Do you think it can be BlackRock? Do you think it's another exchange? Do you just think it's a rich mofo moving Bitcoin from one wallet to another that's under the radar, nobody knows about? Interesting, right? We'll see if that gets identified soon enough. Baz says that big wallet has got to be BlackRock. Yeah, could be. We shall soon see, right? Kyle with you on that long-term prediction. Word up. Tennessee, what's up? 3 billion will be an insult to BlackRock. It was Gemini. You make a great point there. I mean, BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, virtually meaning it's the richest company in the world. It's larger than GDPs of entire countries, minus maybe the United States and China and India. You know what I mean? So holy moly, they have the power to completely purchase up all the, Bitcoin from the weak hands, the paper hands, those who are the, short-term hodlers, those holding less than 155 days. But they're not, it doesn't matter how much money they have. They're absolutely not getting Bitcoin out of my private wallet. They're not going to get Bitcoin out of any of the long-term smart money wallets like MicroStrategy, you know what I mean? Michael Saylor, the Max Kaisers of the world, et cetera, et cetera. So good luck to them. Keep BTFD and HODL. You already know Matt. I appreciate you tuning in, fam. Doing a little DCA lately, but we'll buy in at the dip. Come some more, says Tom H. Word up, or Ton. That's right. Keep some dry powder at hand to take advantage just in case we do drop lower. Why not? Especially if you're in a position to do so. You know what I mean? I added a small number of sats this morning on the dip. Mr. Still Stacking. That's what's up. Nathan, I will be enjoying retirement by then. Send it. Shout out to the coin father. Much love, much respect. Digital maniac. I've been here for years. Nothing crazy, but we can all afford some amount of Bitcoin. You make a great point. And the most common misconception a lot of people share often with me, especially in private chats and such, they'll be like, JV, which cryptocurrency should I buy? I'm looking for a come up. And my first initial instinct is buy Bitcoin. Do you have any? No, I don't want to buy Bitcoin because it's overpriced. I can't afford it for $25,000. And it's like, yo, I much rather have a $500 Bitcoin position than a $500-ish coin position. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but just keeping it real, because Bitcoin is going to be here for the long term. It's not gambling. It's the fastest horse in the race. And like I said, if you're going to plan on hodling for the long haul, there's no smarter way to put your money. Now, obviously, the altcoins have greater potential because the market caps are smaller, so they could increase a lot quicker than Bitcoin. But the caveat is you can get wrecked like that. Just like when the Bitcoin market just dropped whatever 10% and shed $1 billion, $1 billion in positions getting wrecked on the exchanges from those trading with leverage. The altcoins took a beating the worst. Some of them are down 20-30%. So it's a lot harder for the altcoins to recover. So risk reward. If you're looking to just straight up gamble and you want to stay away from Bitcoin, so be it. But you got to be prepared for all scenarios. So just as easy as your position can double on an altcoin of your choice, you can also get wrecked just like that and lose your entire position. So it all depends on your risk tolerance. And I think as an investor, everyone is going to have a different risk tolerance level. My risk tolerance is very low. That's why I'm majority all in on Bitcoin. I don't trust anything else the same. And I can sleep at night knowing that Bitcoin is not going anywhere as the network continues to get stronger and continues to be the pristine, dominant money in the world with a finite, incorruptible, limited supply with true decentralization. There's not another cryptocurrency that can say those same things. Just saying. What's up, fam? Michael Payne in the building. Good to see ya. Nathan Roth, cray. You already know. Kyle says, I'll take till 2140 to mine. It's even crazier. That's a fact. So the last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. Isn't that insane? Do you think there'll be a technology to where we'll all potentially be alive by then, or do you think we'll all be underground? What are your thoughts, fam? Anyways, Tim's Crypto, smash the like. I appreciate that. 76% of hodlers are long-term hodlers. That's what's up. We unite. Boomers, futurists, up, and up. You already know. Number go up technology. Mr. Still Stack in El Salvador, rural Africa, and Kingdom of Bhutan are examples of places with cheap mining power. That's right. And in yesterday's episode, I covered the most expensive countries as well as the cheapest countries to mine Bitcoin. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the most expensive country in the world is Italy. It costs over $208,000 to mine a single BTC. And the cheapest country, I think it was a Middle Eastern country, Lebanon, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But good to note that, fam. Also, obviously, El Salvador, a great place to mine Bitcoin. They have, Bitcoin mining facility with now Max Kaiser. They're doing renewable energy such as solar, and they're also working on the technology for mining through geothermal technology through volcanoes, which is very enticing. Tapping into the natural energy of the earth for Bitcoin mining production. I think that is the future. We already know free energy was actually invented by Nikola Tesla like over 100 years ago. It's been suppressed by the oil tycoons, etc. So let's bring it back. I think Bitcoin is going to bring it back. And I think it's just a matter of time, as Max Kaiser had predicted, that the big Saudis and oil companies start, getting into Bitcoin as well, as I believe they are the smart money. So we shall see. We have an opportunity to front run them right now, just like we did most of Wall Street and all these major institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, etc. And how many of you watched yesterday's episode of Fidelity, which is probably the second largest asset manager in the world, right under BlackRock? They predict a $1 billion Bitcoin price by the year like 2038 or something like that. But that is officially the most bullish price prediction I have ever covered on Crypto News Alerts. I know that episode is blowing up. There's already like 14,000 views. So if you missed it, be sure to check it out as soon as today's live stream is over. You'll notice it, $1 billion price prediction right on my channel. J-Dub, what's up? OMW on the fiat mine. Hope y'all plebs have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing day too. Thanks for stopping by, fam. 400,000 post-halving this cycle would be fire. That's right. We're going to melt some faces. And those of you who have stood the test and have been patient and just huddling and watching all this boring sideways price action, and from last year, the epic crash going from whatever 50,000 all the way down to 15,700, you shall be rewarded. We have witnessed this previous cycles. Those who hold on get to experience the gains. And if you can't stomach the 10%, 20% drops, then you don't deserve the 100% God candle gains, because they come in, fam. I remember previous cycle 2020 to 2021, Bitcoin soared from 16,000 range, from 16,000 to 69 in a matter of months. So to say that that can't happen again is absolutely insanity, if you're to ask me, but I know I'm preaching to the choir, fam. Slow bleed to 19,000 to cause some fear, says Jax. I know that's what the regulators and the mainstream and Wall Street all want, so they can continue ushering in their predictions. Spycraft says UK security gadgets since 1998. The question is, where is the bottom? Great question. Where is that bottom? It's like trying to find Waldo. I'm in 100,000 in Puerto Rico. Who else? Yeah, I'd love to know by a show of hands who's going to be joining us. It's going to be free to attend. All you're going to need to do is purchase a plane ticket, which may cost you $200 or $300 round trip. And then you're going to need a place to sleep, because we all can't sleep at JV's residence. It's not going to be big enough. I only have 3 bedrooms, fam. So maybe a nice hotel is going to cost you probably between $200 to $300 a night. If you want to stay at a more of an upscale place, you can probably find places as cheap as maybe $100. Or if you want a room with someone and save some money, as a lot of people do during the events, that's another opportunity as well. But it's going to be amazing, and you have to keep in mind the Bitcoin price action is going to be 5x what it is today. So everyone should afford to be able to come. And the good news, if you're a U.S. resident, it doesn't require a passport, because Puerto Rico is considered a U.S. territory. That's the good side, being able to travel here. It's very easy to do. So I'm looking forward to that. If you're going to be joining us, please do let us know. If we recession, I believe we could test the previous low of 15,000. Well, anything is possible, right? Billy Boy says Gary Gensler equals the vampire of the new global order. That's right. I like to call it the old world order, because I don't respect that level of evil. Robert O'Connor says, I'll be at the $100,000 party if weed is legal and the kids go home by 10 p.m. Well, the good news is medical marijuana, or medical cannabis, as we call it here on the island, is legal. You just need an ID and a license, and you can walk into any dispensary and purchase it, which is absolutely awesome. They have fire. Their THC levels sometimes as high as very high levels. Don't quote me on that, but great dispensaries out here. Much better than the dispensaries I have experienced in Florida and in Colorado. So great place to get some bud. Who's to say BlackRock only has one wallet address? Good point. I think anyone who is a large player controlling hundreds of millions or potentially billions of dollars probably have dozen plus wallets, because why would you put all your eggs in that one basket? Just being real. So, hypothetically, let's say you had $10 billion. Would you want $10 billion in one wallet, or would you diversify into 10 wallets and maybe $1 billion in each, just for safekeeping? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, fam. Spycraft, US security gadgets. Yeah, that's very interesting as well. I appreciate you sharing that. Shout out to all the people in El Salvador. Liquidity grabs will be all over from now until the halving. Consider the power you got or going against. The smart move will be getting the flow in the flow direction. The bottom is imperative, or you will get washed out. Word up. Only need 1 bedroom, JV. Yeah, I feel you. Airbnb, anyone? That's another option, fam. In Puerto Rico, says Jeff. That's what's up. 30 to 40% in California. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, so the highest I've seen it at the dispensary is like 40% here, and I've never seen that at the dispensaries in Florida, just FYI. There will be a soft recession, but a 1 to 2 year long one. And also I noticed the cannabis is much cheaper here compared to Florida, whereas maybe an ounce at the dispensaries in Florida, it could be hypothetically $350 an ounce, $300 an ounce, depending upon, the grade. Here, the top primo bud that has the highest THC is only going to cost you like $200 or $180 an ounce. So it's virtually almost half the price. That's one of the benefits. the buds out here. Just saying. I do have fire, says Nathan Roth. I believe you. Almost all of my eggs are in the Bitcoin basket. Love to hear that. Like 95%, says Matthew. That's what's up. William Rivera. How long after will it hit 100,000? Will you schedule the party? That's a great question. I think on the way to attaining 100,000, for example, once Bitcoin smashes the current all-time high of 69,000, we'll start planning it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to plan it after it hits 100,000 because I think once we smash 69, we can hit 100 within a matter of months. So we'll put a tentative date. And if it doesn't hit it by that tentative date, we'll just push it back. Now, unfortunately, I originally made this idea back in 2021 because when we hit 69,000, I'm like, oh my God, we're heading to 100,000. But unfortunately, we had the market crash, the FTX debacle, Terra Luna collapse, and it was just a nightmare of a bear market year for 2022. So we didn't quite hit that target, but I am pretty confident by the year 2024, sometime between 2024 and 2025, we're most likely to finally hit that 100K target. And hey, if we only got to 90,000, I say we still deserve a celebration party. In all honesty, just going above the all-time high deserves a celebration. Wouldn't you agree? What are your thoughts, fam? He said smash 69. Hilarious. My new S coins, ish coins are Bitcoin miner stocks. Oh, interesting. 90% Bitcoin and 10% of those. Word up. Welcome, Noah. Atlanta is 200 to 250. Good Lord. Digital Maniac. Luna wrecked me. Sorry to hear that. A lot of people got wrecked, unfortunately. Jeffrey says, hi, great show. Thanks for the info you give us. Sorry to ask when you say here, where's here? All good, fam. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. The OTC Bitcoin wallet publicly known. Are they considered long-term hodlers? No, it's a brand new wallet that just started accumulating just over 3 months ago. So this is a new wallet, fam. Bitcoin $100,000 party will be a trend, 100%. Let's freaking make it big where it's on everyone's mind. So they start talking about it in the mainstream media. Like, yo, do you know that JV's having a party in Puerto Rico? All the Bitcoiners are going to be there. Let's freaking go. Elon Musk's fault for the last bull run, right? Wasn't he starting to pump things? Talking about putting a Doge flag on the moon, whatever the hell he was talking about. Also, he obviously put Bitcoin on his corporate balance sheet for Tesla as well as for SpaceX. We don't know for sure if all that Bitcoin is still there, but it is what it is. Great chat, channel Bitcoin bros and brosies. Word up. I appreciate the support, Spycraft. Much, much, much love. Party Crashers and the Puerto Rico $100,000 party. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Wedding Crashers. We'll all come here and crash JV's Bitcoin 100K fiesta. It's going to be awesome. I don't think it's best to have kids there if you guys want to have more adult entertainment. However, we can make it kid-friendly. I'm still open to ideas. In fact, if you're not already in our Discord chat, in our Discord server, make sure to take advantage of it. The link is discord.cryptonewsalerts.net, and we'll start talking about it and start masterminding. And whatever you guys want to do, we'll make it happen. It'll be fun. Right now, there is a chat where all members are welcome. So each and every one of you can start chatting in one of the Discord general channels and take advantage of that. It's a new server, and yeah, we're going to grow our Bitcoin and crypto community with it. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis as Bitcoin analysts eyes a V-shaped Bitcoin price bounce as the RSI now hits a 5-year low. We also discussed Bitcoin, its new bull cycle metric, which bottomed before 70% gains. So if history is to repeat or rhyme, let's freaking go. We also discussed mysterious Bitcoin wallet becomes the 3rd largest Bitcoin hodler in the world in just 3 months. And it's a question who owns that wallet. We also discussed the trader who nailed the 2018 Bitcoin price floor, predicts the bear market bottom for Bitcoin. I broke down his outlook. We also discussed Guggenheim sharing their 400,000 Bitcoin price prediction. And we also discussed how their CIO, Scott Minerd, has passed away of a heart attack in December of last year and is no longer with us. And we also discussed our main story of the day, and that was Blockware's prediction outlining the Bitcoin price hitting $400,000 per coin during the next halving epoch, which is right around the corner next year in 2024. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.